Today I'm going to share what we're reading in our homeschool. Occasionally, I'm going to be making videos of the books that we're reading together in homeschool. Sometimes people call this a morning basket or morning meeting or something like that. We don't really do it that way now that they're older. We do our Bible and then individual work in the morning. And then in the afternoon, we get back together for the subjects that we do together, like history. So occasionally, I'm going to share the ones that we're in the middle of, the ones that we're still reading, and I'm just going to share the things that we're doing in the afternoon. I do keep it in a basket, but I don't call it morning basket. So right now, we are almost done with You're Not Enough, but That's Okay by Ali Stuckey. Occasionally, the book gets a little bit mature, and I edited that out a little bit. But for the most part, I read it as is, and they've really enjoyed it so far, and it's brought up a lot of really good discussion. Right now, we're also reading Martin Luther, Reformation Fire. And as we're in October and we're coming close to Reformation Day, I kind of wanted to learn more about Martin Luther. Along with our history, we're reading The Bronze Bow. This is by Elizabeth George Spear, and I've loved this book so far. So we're almost done with it. I think we're going to be finishing it this week or next week. I did not expect to like that book as much as I have. It takes place during the time of Jesus, and our main character, Daniel, is a zealot. He's one of those Jews that is waiting for Jesus to help them overthrow the Romans. And so you see Jesus occasionally, you hear about him, and you're seeing what's going on with that group. It's been very interesting. When my mom and I went to a homeschool convention last May, we went to a class from a young man that writes about history. And so this one is about wars, major wars in history. And it's called Major Wars History Bites because they're short little stories that you can read about one war. Like the next one we have is the 80 Years' War, and it's just a few pages, and it's just really, really concise information. We are also doing hymn study this year. Every 2 weeks, we have a new hymn that we sing a couple of times a week, and we learn the history of the hymn. So that's from this book, Our Hymns, Our Heritage, by David and Barbara Lehman. It's been really good. And I usually just find a video on YouTube or something with people singing, and then I make copies of the song itself so that they can read along with the words. Another one that will probably take us most of the year is Trial and Triumph, Stories from Church History. This is by Richard Hanula. I have loved this one so far too. They're just little teeny stories about different people in history. And with my background, most of these people I've never really heard of or I don't know very much about. So it's been really interesting. Another one we've been reading that we're probably going to stop reading is For You They Signed. And this is about all the men that signed the Declaration of Independence. And so we were going through it state by state and reading about the men. And I think this is really good, and it's really good information. But I think this would be better used as a text for a kid that's doing that as a history or as an elective rather than as a read aloud. The information kind of jumps around a little bit, and it's a little bit dry. So I think that if you were sitting down with this and you were learning it yourself and able to read it yourself and fill out the little questions and stuff, I think it would be good. But as a read aloud, I'm not really enjoying doing it. So I think we're going to probably stop that, and then I might save it for my youngest. Right now, for a little bit of the Halloween feel, we're reading The Canterville Ghost by Oscar Wilde together. We are also reading How to Study the Bible by John MacArthur. We start out our day with Bible study every day in school, but we're also starting over with my husband on the weekends, and we're going through Creation to Babel from Ken Ham, and that's been really interesting. So that's what we're reading in homeschool right now. And a few of these, like I said, will probably last most of the school year. And a couple of these will be finishing up soon, and we'll have a few more added next term. So let me know if you've read any of these, if you enjoyed any of these, and I'll see you in the next video.